So let's start today's session by preparing the notes. So we didn't prepare the notes last time, right? So let us see what is a JavaScript. So here we can say H1. What is JavaScript? A JavaScript is widely used programming language, primarily known for its role in the web development. JavaScript is widely used language, primarily known for its role in the web development. It is, you can say, we have discussed this also, it is a versatile and dynamic language that enables developers to add interactivity, functionality to the websites. Here are some key aspects. Client-side scripting, you can say. Here are some key things about JavaScript. Client-side scripting, high-level programming language. This is a high-level programming language. It is an interpreted programming language. Then it is a multi-paradigm programming language. So you will get to know what do you mean by multi-paradigm programming language. Cross-platform. A lot of platforms we can use. Ecosystem. Then dynamic typing. We are going to see this by means of code. Event driven. What do you mean by event driven? Also we are going to see. Open standards here. Security. What kind of security it provides, we will see. So when you talk about the client-side scripting, JavaScript is primarily used on the client-side web development on the user's browser. Remember that it is available in the user's browser. Just a minute. Used on the client side of the web development, meaning it runs in the web browser. This allows, you can say, this allows developers to create the interactive web pages using the DOM. This also we have discussed, DOM, right? Yeah. So this allows developers to create the interactive web pages, handle the user input, manipulate the document object model DOM to update the content and the appearance of the web pages without refreshing it. This is very important. Without refreshing the page, we can change everything. So you will get to know whenever we will start with the DOM, you will get to know all these things. But as I said in the beginning, we will learn JavaScript as a soul. We will learn JavaScript independently, because whatever JavaScript used, you will on all the platforms, right, is very same as everywhere. JavaScript is same as everywhere. JavaScript is a high-level programming language. What do you mean by high-level programming language? So here you can see JavaScript is a high-level language, which means that it abstracts many low-level operations, provides the more user-friendly syntax. This makes it easier for developers to write and maintain the code. Remember that? To write and maintain the code. If you compare it with the C language, in the C language you need to do a lot of things just to start the hello world code. So JavaScript removes that boilerplate code. Boilerplate code means what? The code which should be automatically created, and it is not intended to be written by the developers, right? Interpreted language. Unlike the compiled languages like C, first you need to compile it. Hello?
Yes, sir.
C language, first you need to compile it and then you need to run it, correct? But JavaScript, it's not like that. Unlike the compiled languages, JavaScript is an interpreted language. Browsers have built-in JavaScript engines. This one. Browsers have built-in JavaScript engines that execute the JavaScript code directly, making it easy to develop and test the code. Okay, so deliberately I am just saying JavaScript engines, browsers have built-in JavaScript engine. So I'm not saying servers.
Yes.
Okay, we are not talking about the Node.js over here. Okay, or you can say browsers have built-in JavaScript engines that execute the JavaScript code directly. We will not consider other platforms for now. Platforms for now. And that's why I'm saying, I'm saying browser only. Okay, but it's not like that. Browser JavaScript runs on variety of the platforms that we have seen here.
Yes.
Multi-paradigm. So JavaScript supports the multi-paradigms, including object-oriented. See now, JavaScript supports the multiple programming paradigms, including object-oriented, imperative, and the functional programming. So these are the ways how do you write the code. And in a JavaScript, you can write object-oriented code, imperative style coding like C, and the functional programming. Functional programming, where functions are the first class components. Functions would be treated as everything. This flexibility allows developers, here you can say, this flexibility allows developers to choose the most appropriate approach for their specific task. For the web development, different approach is there. For the server side development, different approach is there, like that. Cross-platform, what do you mean by cross-platform? We have seen this as well, right? JavaScript is compatible with the various web browsers, making it a cross-platform language. This means that JavaScript compatible with the various web browsers and devices, making it cross-platform language. This means you can write a JavaScript code that work consistently across the different browsers and operating systems. Okay, now ecosystem. JavaScript has a rich ecosystem. Here are a few frameworks. JavaScript has a rich ecosystem of the libraries and frameworks such as React, Angular, Vue for front end, Node.js for backend development. Right? These tool extend the capabilities of the JavaScript and simplify the common development tasks. Dynamically typed programming language, which means that types can be dynamic. JavaScript is dynamically typed language, which means that variable types are determined at the runtime. Types are decided at the runtime. This allows more flexible. You'll get to know this. What do you mean by this? Whenever we will understand the variables, you'll get to know this thing. This allows for more flexible coding, but also requires the careful handling of the types to avoid unexpected behavior. What do you mean by this? You'll get to know. JavaScript is an event-driven. JavaScript is what? JavaScript is event-driven, meaning it responds to the events triggered by the user interactions or other sources. The event-driven fundamentals, the event-driven nature, here you can say, The event driven nature is a fundamental to creating interactive and the responsive web applications, right? Okay, now open standards. JavaScript are governed by open standards, ECMA script. Remember that ECMA script specification. JavaScript is, if you see over here, this is the language specification, how your JavaScript will behave. This version of the JavaScript, ECMA script 2023 language specification 2011. From here, can you see how JavaScript will behave? What are the features of the JavaScript? All that features are written in, are maintained by this ECMA. Are maintained by what? ECMA. There is a full form also, but let's not go over there. ECMA, European, something like that. Let me tell you. Yeah, ECMA stands for European Computer Manufacturers Association. What is the ECMA? ECMA stands for
European Computer.
Yeah, let me write it. Call out. Let's make a call out here. ECMA stands for the European Computer Manufacturers Association. It is an international standard organization that develops and publishes the standard for information and communication technology, including the programming languages like JavaScript. Standards. This organization, this association defines standards for the JavaScript. ECMA is responsible for maintaining and evolving the ECMA script specification, which is the official standard for programming language. So I can give the link as well. I'll give you link. So here you can, the official, let's convert this guy to the link. Yeah, so you may check this link over here. Okay. This standardization ensures, here you can say, this standardization ensures the consistency and the compatibility across the different implementations. Remember that. Whenever you talk about JavaScript, there are a lot of versions of the JavaScript. But how do they behave is decided by ECMA.
Yes.
Security. While JavaScript is a powerful tool for the web development, it can also be a security risk if not used properly. The developers must be mindful of the security best practices to prevent the vulnerabilities like cross-site scripting, XSS attacks. We'll talk about that later on.
Yes.
So JavaScript is an essential part of modern web development. Remember that. But it is not limited. We have seen this also. JavaScript is an essential part of the modern web development. Its versatility has led its use in the various application domain beyond the web browsers, such as server-side scripting, mobile app development, desktop application development through the tools like Electron. One of the framework is there, Electron.js. There are a lot of other frameworks also available. So these things we have discussed on the other day, correct? Let me complete the formatting. So this is what we have discussed on the other day. So
Yes.
intro to the Node.js, we can say. Because we are going to use H1 intro, basic level intro. Basic intro to Node.js, or I will come back to this point little bit later on. Let's not get it over here. Or here you can say running JS in so here we can say running JS in browser, in and same running JS in using Node. Okay. So how do you run? It is very simple. You just need to write the script tag code, and here you can say script tag, and inside this script tag you'll write some code, console.log, inside browser, in browser, in browser, the browser. So let's write it, how browser executes this. Browser, the web browser is an execution environment for the client side JavaScript. Browser have built-in JavaScript engines, for example V8 in Chrome, SpiderMonkey in the Firefox, that interpret and execute the JavaScript code. Okay, so this thing we have seen. And running the Node.js, remember that Node should be installed on your machine.
Yes. Terminal.
Yeah, terminal, correct. So here I can write some code, and here we can say JavaScript console.log using Node.js. Using Node.js. So Node.js is, here you can say, a Node.js is a suitable for building web servers, RESTful APIs, real-time applications, chat applications, online gaming, command line utilities, even the desktop application using the frameworks like Electron. It excels the scenario where the concurrency and non-blocking are required. That is okay. How do you run it? So for running, you can use the command node hyphen, we can say creating app.js file, and adding and writing below code in it, correct, and writing below code in it. Make sure that node, here we can say, sorry, this is a shell. Shell node app.js, correct. Make sure that
So what is the shell?
shell means your terminal, CMD. Make sure that node is installed on your machine. Node is installed on your machine. So this was the things we have seen on the other day, correct? This much things. Now what I will do, for recording purpose, I will stop this recording here. For JavaScript variables, we'll start in next recording. Okay.
Yes.